Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Atlanta, at tier 7 US cruiser. I'm on the map Fault Line. It's unfortunately a standard battle, tier 7, which is good, but there is some. Now, I started in the center and I made my way towards the 910 line. Originally I thought I might be pushing through like the 910 line there. But on my way I found this archery, so I started to angle, get into cover, and I engaged it, and now I'm contemplating going for it. Now this isn't the sanest choice there is, because we have very little information. When you look at the minimap, you'll realize that only 6 enemy ships have been spotted, which leaves, well, 6 enemy ships unaccounted for. And, well, I'm hydroing the archery, it's hydroing back. So there could be a massive fleet there, still undetected and ready to farm me. So I'm keeping my eyes out. So far I'm not detecting anything, and so far I'm not getting shot at, but a lot of ships are aiming at me, right? But there is a big island in front of me that will provide some cover. But as I come around here, it has actually a high explosive loaded. Also, if the archery was using armor piercing, it would be a little bit more problematic. Like this, I'm more than confident in winning this gunfight. I just need to avoid the torps. The problem is, as I come around a little bit more forward here, there is an enemy battleship. So I was briefly there concealed, but I am no longer. This Nagato here could easily kill me with one salvo. There is an Omaha, so that Omaha is too close to go into concealment. There is a Rook coming this way as well, so basically I'm now forced to push those guys here, otherwise the battleships are going to utterly wreck me. Now the Fubuki is currently not in a position to torpedo me, and if I can sink it fast enough, yes, it won't be able to turn in time. Now, this cruiser has been taken care of as well, and I've made it into cover. So there was, like, I mean, this whole push was a massive gamble there. Not the sanest choice, right? I'll admit that it wasn't necessarily good play. It was a gamble. It paid off this time. But many other times I would have just been destroyed utterly. Hey, I've had quite a bit of whiskey at this point. Oh well. So, it all turned out okay. Next, maybe I can shoot a battleship a little bit from behind this island. Now the problem is, if I push any further, I'll be out in the open, and I'm a low health Atlanta. Against those battleships, that's not gonna work well. Now what you can do with islands like this is you can try to peek with like only the front a little bit, and then stay undetected and shoot, right? Now I currently can't use all of my guns, although most of my guns actually make it past the island, right? Oh, I have to be careful, right? The Nagato is thankfully turning. Now I'm missing a few salvos there, but the Nagato turning means that it's not going to push further into an angle where it could spot me eventually. It might mean if it runs away here that I will be able to shoot it at some point as well, but at least I'm not getting spotted, right? So I might have to go slightly more forward soon. But now I'm just hoping to get a fire. It's 8... did it eat a fish there? I'm just hoping to get some sticky fires in order to burn it down a little bit. Now, I've repositioned slightly, gotta be careful once again so that I'm not getting detected here. With islands like this, it's always a little bit tricky. Sort of ship detection works from kinda the center of your ship towards the enemy. So if you, for example, only poke a nose around, it's usually not getting spotted. But with like islands of various heights, how high does an island have to be to actually stop you from getting spotted and so on? Let's just say the game is sometimes a bit interesting how it handles spotting. But right now I'm not getting spotted. I got a fire. And we can slowly burn this Nagato. It is unfortunately getting further and further away, so soon I'll have to make a decision about how to handle this. There is a Nagato and an Omaha here. The Rook has been taken care of at some point. The Yeah, the island cover here is really lacking. So the only option I have now is to either reposition entirely like the other flank or do some open water gunboating. Or I guess I could just sail after them and then try to use the island in their camp and hope that works. But as we have established, at this point I had a little bit of whiskey. I mean some gin tonic before that. So I might not care as much anyway. Now first I have to get a little bit closer because they are technically in range, but with my shell travel time they would be sailing out of range by the time the shells have arrived. I guess the good news is those enemies are eventually going to run into a map border. Actually the Nagato is coming closer again. So you know what? It's probably time to us to open water gunboat this Nagato. If I'm really lucky, it's going to shoot the other cruiser anyway. And so far, this Nagato has been shooting high explosive, I believe. One of the reasons I survived my early encounter with it. Which means it's not that big of a threat. That was a very nice salvo. That is a very nice fire. That fire got damage count. Now we just need the follow-up fire. And we're good to go. So far, the Nagato is not shooting me, but I mean, there is this other cruiser, and if it's already locked in on that one, it's probably just gonna stay, right? Even though I'm doing probably quite a bit more damage to it, but I'm more than happy if it ignores me. Yeah, I guess we don't need a follow-up fire. This Nagato is going down. Now next up we have the Omaha. Now the Omaha is so far away that I'm not sure if my shells can make it there in time. Like when we look at the minimap, my range doesn't quite extend to the map border. It almost does, right? So very soon it won't be able to get away. Yeah, like right now, I mean still, if you look at my gun range circle, right, the Omaha might almost be able to make it out of there in time. Now, of course, I have another problem, and that is the island. Although my shell arcs still sort of make it, but it's now hard to aim. And yeah, I might just be too close to the island, so I won't be able to lob shells here anymore. Yoma is almost down anyway. My team should be able to finish it off, and I'll just go and camp. Overall, this game is going pretty well, and it seems to be a pretty simple win there. The question is, will they come back and defend or not? The enemy is blobbed up here in a weird spot, and this Omaha is still alive for some reason. Like, well, it is border surfing, so it's going to be very hard to hit, and as you can see there, the Isa just missed the, what is it, duplex or whatever, seems to be missing a lot as well. And I mean, I'm also not getting the greatest hits because, yeah, border hunting ships are hard to hit. Now we'll see if we can finally get rid of it. And there you go, somebody got it. Now I can just sit here and camp. It does look like the battleship is coming home to defend. I have no idea where the sub is. Actually, I am detected. I do know where the sub is, and it's somewhere where it can see me. Which is going to be so annoying, right? Now, of course, I do have depth charges that drop from the rear, which means I can't really do anything against the sub on range unless it surfaces, and there it is. I'm popping a radar, I can see it, now it just dives, and I can't see it anymore because radar can't radar a diving ship. I got my hydro running, that will not really do much, probably, because I can't really hydro diving subs anyway. And I'd have to go right on top of it to have an effect there. Now the good news is, because of the island, I didn't get torped to oblivion, right? The torpedoes tried to compensate for where I'm going with the homing. And obviously the torpedoes didn't take into account that the island would stop me. And I was, thankfully, the timing worked right, that I was still moving forward. And the torpedoes went all into the island. Now, of course, I can't pull the same trick the second time. Well, not like this. I can try to do it now with a reverse, right? The island is limiting my maneuverability, but I think I can make them all turn into this part of the island here, or even the front part of the island. That works just fine. Now the Hawkins is coming in. It's on very low health. Could try to go around here and intercept it. I mean, the thing is, right, if the sub goes a little bit more this way, I can no longer pull island tricks, and I'm just fodder for it. If I sit here, so I need to get moving. Also, I have to point out this game is so one, right? I could have tried to just stay tucked away and hope that I'll survive the sub for long enough to camp. But we might as well just go out here and do something, right? The battleship is coming sort of straight at me, so we're gonna do some luring there. Despite my damage con, I can't actually get around the sub. I'm starting to drop depth charges, but I probably don't survive long enough to actually get close because the battleship is going to take care of me. And my troops are not on target, unfortunately, but hey, it doesn't really matter, right? This is a win anyway. I actually got one splash damage hit against the subs. That did probably nothing. But, you know. Let's just speed it up. My team is going to farm this battleship, and then they are either going to camp or find the sub. We got the shoulder to shoulder here, so that's nice. And somebody got the sub as well. So yeah, that was a fun Atlanta game. It was not the best played ever. I took way too many unnecessary risks, but hey. Worked out this time. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.